The population patterns in the world are changing, and people are moving freely between rural and urban communities. So the big challenge is, how do we expand access to basic services?
If you look at the traditional approach of financing, what the World Bank has been doing, but also other IFIs, the emphasis has been on financing large infrastructure projects, whether it's a water treatment plant or a power plant, school, hospital. So the focus is very much on the hardware. And then the thinking is that somehow households who would like those services will be connected to these services.
Output-based aid, OBA, is a results-based financing mechanism, which is really a performance-based subsidy. The service provider is performing the service to certain standards, is taking the pre-financing risk, and then after we verify that the poor people have received the service at the indicators and standards we have required, the subsidy will be paid to them as a form of reimbursement to their cost.
Output-based aid is a new paradigm for targeting low-income population in providing services to them. This is a major change from the traditional way we used to do things, where we used to pay for inputs. Under output-based aid, we target outputs. We pay the contractors, we pay the service delivery provider when the job is done. So we see the results, we see the connections, and we see the benefits before payments are made.
Having independent verification of the service, water in taps, electricity in homes, paved roads is an important part of that approach. For government, it allows them to test the reliability and the quality of the service, so they can see that the subsidies they paid to get the service to the poor are delivering outputs.
The Global Partnership on Output-Based Aid, GPOBA, was created in 2003 to disseminate output-based aid, to see if it's a better way to push development aid into developing countries. OBA can be applied both in infrastructure as well as in social sectors. It can be applied to energy, water, sanitation, irrigation, solid waste management, urban transport, ICT, health, and education. With output-based aid, you're guaranteeing that results will happen. You can target your beneficiaries, and then for the donors, it's a very powerful tool because they're able to know with the aid they're providing to developing countries what is the value for money and what is the effect that it's doing in the countries. We are now celebrating 10 years of history of OBA within GPOBA. We have been expanded in our mandate, and we not only do technical assistance, but we also do dissemination of OBA lessons learned, as well as we provide subsidies in the form of OBA. The future for GPOBA is very promising. We will be seeing more a scale-up of projects because we have obtained a lot of expertise over the last 10 years.
GPOBA has been a leader in output-based aid financing of access to infrastructure and social services for the poor since 2003. And GPOBA's results have also been used by the World Bank to mainstream that approach.
Going forward, for us, it's very important to be able to partner with other development partners, including our donors, to start exchanging the lessons we have learned. Our focus is and our vision that one day GPOBA will be a center of expertise worldwide.
The way GPOBA functions is that it's put the seed for an idea. It's breaking the mold of the way we're used to do things, demonstrating the fact that you can target the poor with subsidies, and you should pay for results rather than for promises and inputs. This is a model that should be replicated, it should be expanded. And once it takes hold, this is the way to do it in the future.